name is Anne. Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a get ready with me, so you get to see me put this whole thing together. I'm also walking through a Disney Q&A because I love Disney and I can talk about Disney for hours. So if you're a Disney fan also, hit me up in the comments. But yeah, I think that's it. Let's rewind time and jump into the get ready with me. I have just sort of done my hair. It's very rainy outside, and this morning I took the dog for a long walk and my hair got very wet, and when my hair gets wet it does the little baby hair thing. It's also got a little bit of a wave from the water, but you know what, it's fine. I think it's working, so we're gonna go with it. But I need to do my face and then we will figure out what to wear. Let's see. What are we going to start with? I also have to figure out which lip color to do. So I have these. I mean, I actually have more, but these are the ones I've narrowed it down to so far. And in the camera, these ones look very similar. They're not, they're actually quite different. So I'm leaning towards this one because I don't wear this one a lot, but we'll see. Let's see what I end up wearing. So I've broken it up into like park topic and then like other topic, like movies. So we'll start with the park section. The first one I put on here is favorite ride. So I should preface with, I have been to Disneyland, California, and which is the OG park, and Walt Disney World. So I haven't been to any of the parks overseas, although that is definitely a bucket list thing for me. So one day we will get there, my friends. I think it's kind of difficult to say, like I don't have like one massive favorite. I think I'm definitely a thrill ride gal. So I really like Expedition Everest. Like I will ride that ride over and over again. Now I have to say, like, unfortunately the older I get, the less I can ride it over and over again. Like at some point, I think last time I rode it 3 times in a row and I was just like, okay, like my head, like my equilibrium or whatever was just like, girl, you gotta stop. So that is a really fun one. I also like the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. That's in California Adventure over at the Disneyland Park in California. That's what the, like it used to be Tower of Terror, but now it's that one. So I have to specifically say with that one, while I like that ride, my favorite part of that is when they do the Monsters After Dark overlay. So that is at Oogie Boogie Bash. They do that overlay and it's just like a different animation scene. Yeah, it's way fun. If you want to see what that ride is like, I actually have a Disney blog on it. So I'll link that below if you want to like check that out. But it's super fun, definitely adrenaline rush. Also, the soundtrack during the Monsters After Dark overlay is kind of like metal, and it's super fun. It just like adds to the ride. And then I also think that the Matterhorn, so the Matterhorn, that's also a ride in Disney California and the Disneyland Park. That's like the big mountain, like the snow-capped mountain. I freaking love the Matterhorn. And I know everybody is just like, oh my God, that's the worst ride ever. And like, definitely it's old. Like, you want to have your back crack, that is the ride for you. You get in a little toboggan sled and you go around and you're like, ugh. But it's so worth it to me, especially after dark, because there's this like scene, this like part where you come out of the tunnel and you can just see all of Disneyland, and when it's dark and it's lit up, it's just like a dream come true. So I really like that ride. When we went to Disneyland in like September, that ride wasn't open because they were refurbishing it, which was like super duper sad. I also honestly just really like Big Thunder. Like I think Big Thunder is such a fun ride. I have never been on Big Thunder and not had a good experience. I should mention that I haven't been on Tron yet, and I haven't been on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride in Florida yet. So I, you know, when we go on those, I may then have a new favorite ride. Favorite food. So favorite food, that's also kind of a hard one. I don't really have like one favorite dish that I'm like, oh my God, this was the best thing I've ever eaten. I think a lot of Disney food is surprisingly good. Like you're in a theme park and you wouldn't necessarily expect it to be delicious, but most things you get are actually really good. My husband and I are foodies, so like when people say that, they're like, oh, this is so good. I'm like, is it? But like, it really is, trust me. Now definitely there are some things that you can get that are just kind of like not good. Like I have had things that I was just like, not really here for that. I love all the floats and like the fun things that they do, like the fun desserts. Kind of like when you go, it's like such an experience to go to Disney and get some kind of Dole Whip and like some sort of float or something. So I think it's fun to like go to Disney, like really embrace the fun foods that they have and try different things and stuff. It's kind of a loaded topic because there's also like places that you go where the food maybe like isn't the best you've ever had, but it's the experience. So like Cinderella's Royal Table, we went there for the first time. My husband and I got we got a table, it was just the two of us, so we got a table like right next to the window, and we like watched everybody in Fantasyland, and that is like such a special memory that I will always have now. One of my most favorite places was, we went to California Grill. I planned everything out where we were gonna eat and all those things, and California Grill just like didn't make the list. There was a bunch of other places that I wanted to try, like Cinderella's Royal Table, and I was like, I think California Grill sounds good, but there's other things that I want to do more. So we weren't gonna do it. Well, then we were like in our trip, we were like maybe like 10 days in or something. We had like, I think it's like a 14-day trip or something. And we were like, we'd really like to go out to eat tonight, and maybe we should, you just see what's available. And so I looked on the dining reservations, and the only one that was available, well, there were like Olivia's Cafe and some of those like lower key, like not as popular places were available, but California Grill was available. They had a reservation for 9 o'clock, and that's kind of late. I think it was like our rest day or something. So that was kind of late for us because we were gonna go to bed early and, you know, get ready for the next day. But I was like, should we do it? And he was like, yeah, he's like, we're on vacation, like let's do it. So we did it, and wow, it was so wonderful. That was another one where it was just the two of us, so we sat right next to the windows. We were there during the fireworks show, so even though we were like super far away, we could see the fireworks. We also saw, apparently, there's like a little boat show that Disney does on the like lagoon in front of Magic Kingdom, which I never do that. And the server was like, yeah, they do that every day. And I was like, what? So we got to see this little boat show that they did, which was super fun as well. And the food was just like spectacular. It was phenomenal. Like, I can't remember what we got, but it was like, I think my husband got like some sort of steak. I think he got a steak as well. The food was just so good. It was so delicious. It was cooked super well. The service was great. And the atmosphere, like sitting so high up in the Contemporary and seeing that view was just super duper special. And it was like, it was later, so it was like kind of more of a mellow vibe versus like, you know, midday, mid-park, kids running around everywhere, people screaming, you know. It was very calm, and that was just like just what we needed for like sort of a date night for us. I also have to say, I really like the food in Epcot. Like, people go to Epcot for drinking around the world. I go to Epcot for eating around the world because there is so much delicious food in Epcot. I think one of our favorite places that we went this last trip in Epcot was La Cellier, which is in the Canadian Pavilion. That was another place that was just delicious. Everything we had, sorry, I'm decanting my powder here. Everything we had was just so good. Like, we had the cheddar cheese soup, of course, which is like an iconic thing that you have to have there. We had, there was like some sort of creamed spinach, which I actually really love creamed spinach. So it was kind of fun to have that there. I can't even remember what else. Even like the bread, like when you sit down, they bring you bread, and the bread was delicious. Like all of the bread, everything was so good. Now for favorite park, I think Epcot is probably my favorite park now at this stage in my life, because I love going to all the countries. I love trying all the different foods of the different countries. I think Epcot in itself is like two parks, right? You have like the World Showcase, and then you have like the other things like the land and the sea pavilions and stuff. Like there's like a full operating aquarium. Like there's like the Living with the Land is one of my favorite rides. People are like, that's such a boring ride. It's about plants, y'all. I freaking love plants. My top tip for like going to Disney would be plan, but don't over plan. Try to take it slow, but plan for the things that you really want to do. So what is your favorite movie? Favorite movie is Brave. I love Brave. I think it's fun, it's sweet, it's got an adventure, it's so freaking funny. It is hilarious. I think Brave is like one of the funniest movies. I love it. I've curled my lashes. So favorite soundtrack would be Moana, obviously. Or I also really like the original Aladdin soundtrack. All of the songs that Robin Williams sings are stellar. So good, So catchy, so fun. So I think in terms of like favorite soundtracks, I think those would be like my top. Oh, also Hercules, the original Hercules. I think there's a remake coming out, so I'm excited for that. But Hercules as well, literally every track is a bop. So those would be my top 3 like favorite soundtracks. I also really like Poor Unfortunate Souls, but that's not really a soundtrack. That's just my queen, Ursula. So in terms of underrated villain, obviously Ursula. I also think Hades is an underrated villain because he's freaking funny. Like, he's just hilarious. And Ursula, of course, like, I don't think people recognize like what a badass she is. She like kind of rules over her own domain under the sea there. She probably deals with like a lot of fat shaming, let's be honest. And she probably deals with just like a lot of like, I don't know, hatred in like the aquatic community. And listen, all she wants is to just like be her best self, be the queen that she is, and like Ariel and King Triton are like, no, bitch. Also, Pat Carroll, who played her in the original one, was just like, that performance was so good. I'm very excited for the new, I'm so freaking stoked for the new Ariel, the live action one. It's coming out in a few weeks, and I'm so freaking stoked for that. Pat Carroll did such a good job as Ursula, so it's hard to think that anybody could deliver a performance as good as that. However, if anybody could, it would be Melissa McCarthy. So I am actually really excited for her rendition of Ursula. Oh, I have to do lips. But before I do lips, I need to figure out what dress I'm wearing. Let me show you what I have. So I've got this like pretty white one with like a little bit of like, it's almost like a corset bodice. It's not actually a corset, but it kind of looks like it. I also have this like, this is like a floor length maxi dress in this really pretty kind of cornflower blue. And then, I fell off the hanger again. I also have this pretty kind of like periwinkle dress. Oh, that's the back side. So anyways, I'm gonna try these on and see which one I like best. So I will report back in a few minutes. I've gone for the white one. I liked the blue one with the longer sleeves, but it was a little wrinkly. So I'm gonna do the lighter lip color because now I think I'm wearing the white. I think it works with the white one. So I'm gonna put that on, put my earrings on, let my hair down, and then we're gonna go. Okay, I think that's it. I've chosen these earrings and I put some heels on, so I'm actually quite tall. Hello. Here's the final look. Got some danglies on, and I'm gonna bring this with me, and I think we're ready. So thank you for tagging along with me. Oh, the last question was favorite princess. Merida, also like Belle because she's smart. Also like Ariel because she's a mermaid. Those are like my fave princesses. Yeah, okay. Thanks for coming, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.